Disney movies were a big part of my childhood, and probably yours too. From Aladdin to Sky High to Wall-E, I loved every single one of these films. But around Halloween and Christmas time, Disney would do reruns of this one movie. This one movie known for its spooky vibe and at the same time, its holiday vibe. This one movie so iconic, so amazing, the movie was Nightmare Before Christmas. And since we're in that sweet spot between Halloween and Christmas, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be going over the Nightmare Before Christmas. And if y'all thought Monster House was a classic, this is truly a classic. So y'all know the drill. Grab your popcorn, get your stuffed animal, grab you some eggnog this time. Yep, I don't care if you don't like it, grab the eggnog. And try not to... Nah, I'm not gonna jump scare. We open up to a bunch of trees with symbols of different holidays on each one. And hey, we might not all agree Christmas is the best, but I'm just saying, ain't no one getting hyped for St. Patrick's Day. That's all I'm saying. The tree we go through was the one with the jack-o'-lantern on it. So, y'all know where we at. Halloween Town. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. A town specifically dedicated to Halloween and filled with all things scary. We got werewolves, fat clowns, female Frankenstein, fat vampires, fat boogeyman? What, they got a Raising Cane's in Halloween Town? Why are there so many fat monsters? The leader of this creepy stop motion town is no other than Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King. And when I tell you I thought this dude was so cool when I was younger, I am not exaggerating. I even starved myself to attain the physique. And the people in Jackstown thought the same thing as me, because my boy was not only clouded, but he had the witches on him. Ladies, there's enough. Bow to go around. But after Jack runs away from his groupies, we find out, after who knows how many years of celebrating, Jack is tired of being the Pumpkin King. He's bored with Halloween and he desires something new. He even sang a song about how empty he feels. Alright, chill out, bro. This is sounding a bit too real. Joke, I'm good. As Jack is performing his depressing song, we see no other than the Franken lady from earlier watching him and clearly worrying about him. Oh, but when I do it, I get called a stalker. Alright, bro. Alright. Her name is Sally, and what her and Jack don't know is things are gonna change for Jack real soon. Jack wanders off into some trees while we see Sally return home to no other than her creator, or father, or whatever, Dr. Finkelstein. I did not like this dude when I was younger. He's supposed to be Sally's like father figure who gets mad every time she runs off or doesn't want to come home. And I don't know if it's because he's overbearing or ugly, but I just can't get behind this dude. I don't care that he's handicapped. He gives her a scolding about going out and blah, 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 blah. You can't stand up and tell me that stuff. We cut back to Jack, who wandered for so long that it's daytime now, where we see him stumble into the same forest from the beginning of the movie. We all know Jack is not going through that tree. But the tree that does catch Jack's attention is no other than the Christmas tree. Obviously, it's in the title. The tree sucks, pause, Jack into a winter wonderland where we get one of the most iconic Disney songs in history. What's this? What's this? There's color every... Alright, that's all I could put in the vid. Jack was transported to a colorful, snowy, and cozy looking place, Christmas Town. This place was literally what I imagined Christmas time to be like when I was younger. Lights, candy canes, snow everywhere. Too bad in New York, snow looks like this. And Jack might have been happier to see this place than me, because he was singing, smelling pies, watching people kiss. All right, Jack, don't get to jacking now. Jack had finally found what he was looking for. Something new, something fresh, and most importantly, completely different from Halloween Town. And this is where Jack gets a very, very clever idea. But we'll get back to that in a second, because back in Halloween Town, everyone's panicking looking for Jack, especially the mayor. This dude gotta have some extreme form of anxiety or something. He's out here calling town meetings because Jack has been missing for half a day. Like, chill out, bro. My son Jack can't get no paid time off. And at the same time while this was happening, we cut back to Sally, who's in the middle of poisoning her father. She poisoned him so she could sneak out again. A good reason, I guess. And at the perfect time too, cause look who's back in town. He comes back with some new stuff, some shades, a bag, and who'd you rob for that whip, Jack? What the? Jack gets straight to business and orders a town meeting to talk about his findings in Christmas Town. They even got the Grim Reaper and the Evil Witch from Snow White in attendance. It's getting real. Jack starts telling everyone in town. Yo, whose grandma is this? Jack starts telling everyone in town how insanely amazing and wonderful Christmas Town was, with its trees, its socks, and there were people kissing. But sadly, even after telling them about Sandy Claus, the Halloween Town folk just couldn't understand the vibes that Christmas time brings. See, a guy like me, I would have brought them each a copy of The Grinch and played that one Mariah Carey song. They would have understood immediately. Jack is back at home that night pondering. brainstorming, thinking of a way he can show them how truly great Christmas is. He got the pajamas and sitting by the fire? You talking about some Christmas town, but Jack, you live in lavish. Come back to Sally's house where she gets grounded for poisoning her dad that one time. I mean, yeah, I could get you grounded. And at the same time, someone comes a knocking at their house, and it's Jack. He's linking up with Dr. Finkelstein so he gets some equipment to run experiments. And obviously Sally, being the little stalker that she is, overhears this conversation and makes Jack a nice little gift basket the same night he's experimenting. How she got out the crib this time, you may ask?
Oh my God!
Sally drops off the basket to Jack and hides behind a wall. And just look at the way she dramatically slides down that wall. She's clearly in love. Sally picks up a flower to, I guess, start doing the whole, you love me not. Y'all remember that game? They even had it on that one Mario game on the DS. Sally picks up the flower and it suddenly turns into a Christmas tree. And then it catches on fire. This could not be a good sign for the future. The very next day, bro, why is that kid on a leash? Jack is still in his crib pondering, brainstorming, thinking of a way he can... When it hits him. What better way to bring the Christmas Town spirit to Halloween Town than to become Santa Claus himself? This villainous speech he gives in that electric chair he had in his room? Yeah, Jack is the villain of this movie. And Sally knows this might not be the best decision. Jack calls another town meeting and starts ordering the monsters of Halloween Town to build toys. Sally's ugly dad to build reindeer. And he enlists the most terrifying group in Halloween Town to handle the most difficult task of them all. The Boogie Boys, a group of mischievous, borderline psychotic kids who work for the Boogeyman. You just look like you bite. Jack tells them what their mission is, and he tells them to make sure to keep Oogie Boogie out of this. The kids agree, but behind their back, we can see they were crossing their fingers. I just knew it. And it's not until they're back in their lair that we find out the mission Jack put them on was to kidnap Santa Claus. What? Yeah, I know. Who gonna carry him? And the Boogie crew likes the idea of kidnapping Santa a little too much. They start singing about all the messed up things they plan on doing to him. Kidnap the Santa Claus, beat him with a stick. What? Lock him up for 90 years and see what makes him tick. They got bars, but it's torture. They're describing torture. These kids either watch way too much Dexter or been hanging out with the CIA, cause golly, some of these things they're saying are war crimes. They head off to go abduct Santa Claus in this bathtub thing. Does this thing not make anyone else uncomfortable? Why it got legs? We cut back to Jack, who's teaching some of these town folk Christmas music. I don't gotta say too much about them, just look at the bills. Sally comes to meet with Jack because Jack said he had a job for her, but before he could tell her, she immediately starts trying to warn him, telling him about the omen she saw where the Christmas tree catches on fire and Jack's like, silly Sally, that doesn't sound like my Christmas at all. Maybe that's what Santa got going on over there, but my Christmas is filled with milk and cookies, joy and toys. My Christmas is lit. He hands her a reference she could look at for his Christmas outfit that he wants her to make. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Jack, I think you're gonna have to hit up that Cane's. You're missing a couple pounds. Sally leaves, still worried about the future of Jack's plan. And at the same time, the Booger Sugar kids return with Santa Claus. Or at least who they thought was Santa Claus, because in reality, it's the Easter Bunny. That's not Santa Claus. The Oogie crew leaves to return the bunny and the countdown to Christmas has begun. Halloween Town is making their preparations to become the new Christmas town, making reindeer, making the sleigh, and most importantly, making the toys. Yeah, the NYC kids definitely gonna rock with that rat hat. But before we can see how Jack's Christmas looks like, we cut to a very colorful house featuring a white-haired woman baking cookies. Oh yeah, you recognize the white beard. We're in no other than Santa's house, who's busy going through the naughty and nice list. And I don't mean to brag, but I used to make that nice list every year. Anybody named Dean watching this video? Looks like you should be good, my boy. Santa surprised there's barely any naughty kids this year. That is, until he hears a knock on his door. And it's the 3 worst kids he could imagine. Cut back to Jack, who you can just tell is ready to celebrate Christmas because he got that on. Sally is still trying to convince him that he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to give away rat hats. Come on, Jack, that's a terrible idea. Right at that moment, the Boogie Bomb kids come back and tell Jack they got the real deal this time, Santa Claus. And Santa Claus was so confused about what was happening, you gotta feel bad for the guy. But who gonna deliver the toys? Jack tells Santa, relax, I got it under control this year. And proceeds to take his hat and send him off with the Booger kids. Y'all think Mrs. Claus is still baking them cookies? But what Jack doesn't know is that the kids took Santa to the one person he told them to leave out of this. The one and only Oogie Boogie. He starts singing a song about how he's going to eat him or make him into soup or something. I don't know how he plans on doing that unless he uses the whole freaking walking bathtub to stew him. Point is, Santa is in danger. Meanwhile, Jack is finally ready to take off and start delivering some toys. But Sally was cooking up a plan in the backdrop to stop him this whole time. She sneaks her way to the town fountain and pours in some fog juice, which fogs up the whole town. Oh no, how is Jack gonna fly in this fog? Jack accepts defeat. But luckily for him and unluckily for Sally, Jack's ghost dog Zero comes out of nowhere with his bright nose and Jack makes him lead the reindeer. Get it? It's like Rudolph. Sally's plan has failed. Jack is finally in the air and he's arrived at the suburbs. Jack gets inside the first house and is met with this kid who Jack gives the first present of the night to. Things look like they're going well. He came in through the chimney, filled with stockings, gave the kid his gift. He was a bit caught off guard by Jack's appearance, I'm not gonna lie, but not too bad for a first-time Santa. At least it looked like that way until the parents came in and asked their son, "So what did Santa get you this year, kiddo?" And it was like this in almost every house. The toys were attacking people in their homes. Police were receiving overwhelming amounts of reports and calls of a skeleton man impersonating Santa. This is messed up. There was probably some dude calling about a real problem at the same time all this stuff was going on.
Oh, thank God. Sir, you gotta help me.
Yeah. Skeleton Santa, we're on it. The citizens of Halloween Town and Sally are witnessing the stuff going down, and she decides she has to find some way to save Jack. So she rushes off to find where the Boogie Boys put Santa. And save Jack from what, you may ask? Well, at the same time, Jack is still in the air, celebrating because he feels like he's doing such a good job. But then all of a sudden, he hears that Silent Hill siren and sees them searchlights. They brought out the United States military to take down Jack. And when I was younger, I thought this was a bit of an overreaction, but when you look at it from the people's perspective, it kind of changes your mind. An unknown assailant flying in the sky that's breaking into people's cribs and leaving dangerous creatures to harm them? Yeah, Jack probably looks like a terrorist. Jack realizes those aren't fireworks. They're actually trying to hit him. As the town watches, the military shoots Jack out of the sky, destroying his sleigh and his reindeer in the process. The mayor makes an announcement that Jack has been pulverized. Christmas is officially over for Halloween Town, and potentially for the world too. We come back to the real world and Jack definitely did a number on these kids. Like, little bro is traumatized. Jack somehow survived the explosion and laments his failures. He's disappointed that it didn't work out how he envisioned it. But then he realizes, he's the freaking Pumpkin King. He's not supposed to be drinking milk and eating cookies, bringing joy and toys. He's supposed to be scaring people, making them scream, making their heart race, making them wet their pants. Jack's love for Halloween was back. He was back in touch with his roots, and he realizes there's still time to set things right by getting Santa back. We cut back to Man, what the heck happened? Oogie Boogie has kidnapped both Santa and Sally now, and he's preparing to cook them. But luckily, right as Oogie is about to throw them into the boiler, Jack comes out of nowhere and starts pressing Oogie. Oogie tries to run and sets off a multitude of traps to try and escape from Jack, and he was almost successful too until he jumped on top of this thing and leaves one of his threads behind. A fatal mistake. Jack grabs the thread and proceeds to unravel Oogie, pretty much skinning Oogie alive. Jack! We cut away to Jack and Santa talking, and Santa tells him he should listen to his shorty Sally over there a little more often. Jack tells him he hopes there's still time to save Christmas. Santa tells him, "Do you know who I am?" and dips. Sally practically starts confessing her feelings to Jack before they're interrupted by the mayor, who is kicking his heels that Jack is still alive. The town rejoices as Santa flies by, leaving snow and freezing over Halloween Town. This looks so cool, I can't even lie. Jack and Sally sit atop the now frozen Spiral Hill from earlier, confess their love for one another, and boom, the movie ends. It's beautiful. Beautiful. As you guys can see, this movie is still a classic, easily top 5 Christmas movies or Halloween movies or Easter movies, I don't know. Comment down below any more movies you guys want me to go over, or DM me them on Instagram. Follow my Instagram. And moral of the story? So what did Santa get you this year, kiddo?
Break, now I need a break. Try to run away, try to get away. So I could